wraps. Let's clear this sulfur-sodden fucks out so hate.
Down they go!
And we're alive. Hayes was the best self-sacrificing son of a saint I ever met. Halcyon is worse off without him. Now, if we're gonna lure the Manta Queen out, we'll need to find Rebecca and Anders. They took a UDL contract on Terra 2. We never heard from them again. Think it's time I call in a favor with Hyrum. If anyone can track them down, it's him.
So much for peace and quiet. Would it kill the universe to cut me some slack? Oh, great. I love doing pro bono work for friends.
Aw, you called us friends. I'd normally entertain your self-aggrandizing delusions, but this time it's important.
Important to you is not the same as important to me. Although I do recognize that you may have earned some goodwill during your months laboring for me. Tug on my heartstrings, why don't you? Look, I'll do what I can, all right?
Rebecca Hodges and Anders Wadsworth. They took a UDL contract back when Monarch went to shit, and I need to find them. I believe them to be on Terra 2.
If UDL hired 2 hunters back then, it would have been for creature clearing purposes, round 1 of their Spacer's Choice outposts. These are the coordinates for the outpost under the last UDL contract. Now scram. And, good luck. Yes, the one that crashed. I saw it on the security feed. A bit grainy, but an invigorating watch all the same. What about it? Is this bonding? I'm not sure I like it. Next, you'll be asking me how I got the scar on my chin when I was 11. Most of it's underneath along my jaw, but yes, it seems to have faded with time. Moral of the story is, never run with scissors. I fear it's a sad day when you've resorted to asking me for advice. Sanjar's about as deadly as a spilled can of lead paint. If anyone's to aim a cannon at my face, I'd prefer it be him. But he'd never have the guts to defend Monarch if it came down to it. I don't know enough about Zora to make an adequate assessment, so you can bet I'm compiling a dossier on her now, from her pediatric records as a teething toddler to 2 hours ago. As I'm not the one with access to the artillery cannon, I reckon the decision's ultimately up to you. I'm quite useful from time to time, aren't I? You're welcome. I'm getting ahead. Be a doll and shoot any...
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
That's the last of them.
Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it. Hey, take a gan. Oh no. Oh no. What did you do? I don't... They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you! The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses! Ugh. I'd to leave your medallions to rot with you, but... Clara would want to be buried with her sister. At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I think I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth. Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still so naive as to let it hurt her every time it happened. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick. Not unless you happen to be familiar with the ins and outs of Mana Queen behavioral patterns. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does.
A reminder to all crew members. There is only one toilet on the ship. We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
You keep your hands where I can see them. Keep them hands where I can see them. Nice and easy now. Cassandra warned me you were coming. You can move on.
Here we go!
Everyone all right?
All that for a cigarette case? I hope doing menial labor ain't a habit for you, Captain.
You can move on any...
You must think me a fool. I was watching on the security cameras. You got downright friendly with the outlaw leader. I'm trying real hard to figure what your angle is. See the answer I wanted there? It was, yes, Chief, I'm helping you. You convinced her to let us leave in peace. Listing the ills we've been done ain't exactly putting me in a mind to compromise. I gotta believe that all we done will mean something to the company, to Doc Crane. That effort will make up for mistakes. I trust that we all end up where we're supposed to be, that all the variables come together in the end. I reckon I don't see any better solution. Fine, damn it, we'll pull out. Here, my key card. It'll get you access to the whole place. Full stakes, people. We're heading back to town.
You can move on anytime.
If you stop in the engine... We're in orbit over Cascadia, Captain.
Good hit!
Nice one. That's the last.
last of them.
Nice hit! Nice hit! Nice kill! We've got a fight on our hands.
Nailed it.
Our skills are unrivaled.
Used to be, you can get the best.
This town must have looked mighty grand when it was built.
This is what you get when a corporation takes a dump and walks off without cleaning it up.
That's the last of them.